Obioma, the woman king of Niogugu, long ago, when the forest of Alegbo still sang the songs of spirits and the rivers whispered secrets to those who listened, there was a kingdom called Niogugu. This was no ordinary kingdom. It was blessed with fertile lands, rich palm groves, and warriors whose oaths were sealed not just in blood but in the sacred kola of their ancestors. But Niogugu was under threat. The neighboring kingdom of Uboro, led by the brutal King Izigo, had grown greedy. His soldiers raided the villages along the border, taking yams, livestock, and worst of all capturing the daughters of Niogugu. Izigo sold these daughters to foreign slave merchants in return for gin and miras. The people cried to the gods, but their cries were met with silence until Obioma rose. The birth of a storm. Obioma was born under a red moon, a child of both prophecy and tragedy. Her mother, Nena, had been a warrior, one of the few women allowed to train under the Ndim Gogojuo, the masked war council. But she died during a raid when Obioma was just 5. Raised by her uncle, the village dibia, healer and seer, Obioma grew up different. She wrestled boys, climbed trees, and learned the sacred art of both war and medicine. By 13, she could shoot an arrow through a palm fruit. By 16, she was besting full-grown warriors in stick fighting. But the elders frowned upon her. A woman's place is in the heart, they muttered. She is too wild, others whispered. Only one person believed in her without question, Igwe Agubota, the ailing king of Niogugu. He saw in Obioma not just strength, but destiny. The call to arms one market day, a Uboro raiding party attacked. They came with guns this time, killing indiscriminately and capturing 12 girls, including Chinelo, Obioma's childhood friend. When Obioma returned to the village with a fresh kill from the forest and saw the carnage, something inside her snapped. I will go after them, she declared. The elders laughed. Alone. I do not need many, she replied, gripping her machete. Moved by her courage, King Agubota summoned her to the palace. His beard had turned white, and his limbs trembled, but his eyes gleamed. I make you Ada Ijil, he said, the title of a warrior princess. But the kingdom is yours to earn. The rise of the leopard maidens. Obioma needed an army, not just any army, but one the enemy would never expect. So she walked into the sacred grove of Uhamiri, where it was said no man dared tread. She went alone, with only a goat as sacrifice. 3 days later, she returned. No one knew what she saw in the grove, but her eyes shone like the stars that guided fishermen. She called for every woman who had ever felt the fire of injustice. Let the beaten come. Let the widowed, the orphaned, the scarred come. Let those with nothing to lose become everything. And they came. From hamlets and forests, women of every shape and age. They trained for weeks in secret, running barefoot over hot coals, mastering spear and blade, learning to move with the silence of the wind. They became known as the Leopard Maidens, a warrior sisterhood bound by love, rage, and vision. Their mantra was simple: if not us, who? If not now, when? The test of fire word spread. The woman army. The council scoffed. But when Obioma led a midnight raid into Uboro territory and rescued 5 captives without losing a single warrior, the laughter died. Still, King Izigo would not relent. He sent emissaries bearing threats. Surrender your warrior women, the message read, or your blood will feed our crops. Obioma laughed when she read it. Tell Izigo that the soil of Niogugu does not grow fear. The leopard maidens grew bolder. They struck Uboro supply lines, liberated villages, and inspired uprisings. Izigo sent assassins. Obioma beheaded them and sent their heads back with gifts of bitter kola. But every victory came with a price. During a rainstorm, Izigo's men attacked a leopard maiden camp. 20 sisters died, including Obioma's cousin, Oninyeki. Obioma wept for the first time in years, then fasted for 7 days in the forest. When she emerged, she carried a carved staff given to her in a vision, a gift from the spirit of her mother. The woman king with her people rallying and Uboro growing desperate, Obioma returned to King Agubota. Your time is done, my father, she said gently. But let your last act be the boldest. And the old king did the unthinkable. In a ceremony witnessed by gods and men, he removed the Okpu Ododo, the royal Kora crown, and placed it on Obioma's head. I name her not queen, he said. I name her Iznwani woman king of Nyagugu. Some wept. Some shouted in disbelief. But most cheered until the trees trembled. Obioma rode not with a throne, but from the field. She marched at the front of every campaign, wielding 2 short swords, her face marked with the white chalk of defiance. The final war, the final battle came on the banks of River Enumere, where the spirits of the ancestors were said to dwell. Izigo himself led his army, draped in charms and surrounded by foreign mercenaries. Obioma stood on a mound, holding the staff of her mother in one hand and the leopard flag in the other. She spoke not just to her army but to the soul of the land. Today, we fight not for revenge, but for rebirth. Not to shed blood, but to stop it from flowing. Let this day be the last day our daughters are stolen. Let it be the last day our land is seen as weak. Let the rivers witness our courage. Then they charged. The battle was thunder and chaos. Steel clashed, drums roared, chants of Igbo Eme Enegu. The Igbo do not fear battle. Rose like fire. Obioma found Izigo on the hilltop, alone, waiting. Their duel was a thing of legend. He fought with fury, but she fought with purpose. In the end, as the sun bled across the sky, she drove her sword through his chest. And the war was over. Legacy years passed. Peace returned to Nyagugu. The leopard maidens became teachers, farmers, and healers, but their spears were always within reach. Obioma ruled wisely for 20 seasons. She never married, saying, "My heart is wed to the land and her children." She transformed the kingdom, outlawing slavery,